Hi plant propagators. I'm in a plant tissue culture laboratory. Tissue culture is a way to propagate plants in a very specialized way. The plants aren't grown in soil or potting mix or sand or anything like that. They're grown in a synthetic medium. That medium is kept free of bacteria and fungi. If I grab one of these potato cultures, you can see these in vitro, meaning in glass cultivated plants, are growing on a synthetic medium. In order to manipulate how these plants grow, we need to manipulate the plant hormones that are in those culture vessels and medium. So let's take a closer look at a couple of these plants. Here are two cultures of potatoes. They're cultured on the same medium, but as you can see, one's been in that medium for a long time. The other one, the one on the right, has been in there for a very short amount of time. Both of these cultures have auxin to stimulate root growth. You can see the abundant root growth on these cuttings or these plants that have been grown in culture for a while, because the auxin has stimulated adventitious rooting on those shoots. In the cutting that was just placed in the medium a few days ago, the plant has been growing, it's still green, but it hasn't had enough time for the auxin to work and cause adventitious rooting on that shoot. Now, as these plants grow and become larger, as the one on the left has done, you can go into this culture, take new cuttings, and take those new cuttings and place them on medium that's refreshed with the hormones that you want to manipulate the growth with, and continue to propagate these plants. So again, this is asexual propagation using a synthetic medium and different hormone balances to grow these plants. You might be wondering, where do we get these hormones for use in plant tissue culture? For that, let's go into the lab and have a look at some of the chemical manufacturers that provide us these plant growth regulators. So if we go over here to the refrigerator, watch out for the eye wash. We look down into the bowels of the refrigerator here, and we see lots of really great stuff. Let's take a look. First thing, if we're doing tissue culture, we'll want to know about is the basic medium. And in the figure that talks about cytokinin and auxin being complementary, we talk about the Mirashige and Skoog medium. It's a classic medium. This one has the vitamins and salts all necessary for plant growth. We'll talk about what the plant growth needs to grow in another lecture. What I really wanted to show you here are these plant growth regulators. So you can guess what this one is: naphthalene acetic acid. There it is. Alpha naphthalene acetic acid. And we can weigh this powdered material out and put it in our medium to stimulate adventitious rooting. Here's another auxin. IBA, indole butyric acid. Let's see if the label matches what I'm saying. We can get it into focus here. Come on. There we go. Indole 3 butyric acid. So again, it's a powder in here. We can weigh it out on a very accurate scale. We can make a stock solution. We can add that to our medium. Let's look for another one. Oh, here's an interesting one. This one we buy from the company as a ready-made solution. It's alpha naphthalene acetic acid again. It's a solution of 1 milligram of NAA per milliliter of solution. So you can see it's a liquid in there. That's a lot easier for us to use. Let's see. Oh, here's an interesting one. This is a gibberellin. Whoop. there it is, gibberellic acid, and it's a potassium salt. It comes from Cal Biochem. So we're buying our plant growth regulators. I also wanted to show you a couple of cytokinins. Here is having a little focusing trouble here today. There we go. 8-benzyl-aminopurine. That is a cytokinin. So that's going to stimulate cell division and shoot growth. The other cytokinin that we use is a naturally occurring one. I'm not going to open it up here for you. Those are both powders. Is zeatin. Here we have 50 milligrams of zeatin. Zeatin is a naturally occurring cytokinin, and it's fairly expensive. That's why we're only buying very tiny amounts of it here. 50 milligrams. That's much smaller. I'm trying to think. That's really just what you'd put on your French fries as a little bit of salt to use. So, plant growth regulators, very important in asexual propagation using plant tissue culture. And where do we get those plant growth regulators? We purchase them from chemical companies that produce them in very high purity for our use. So, thanks for listening to the plant growth hormone video. Thanks.